We were looking at converting variable types in Stata. We looked at toString and dstring. We want to now look at decode. What decode does is that it converts a numeric variable with value labels, right? So you have a numeric variable which has value labels assigned into a string variable such that it removes the numeric value of the numeric variable and only returns the value labels as observations of the new string variable. So what we're doing with decode is that we have a numeric variable with value labels. We want to convert it into a new string variable such that we're removing the numeric value and we're just returning the value labels that were assigned to the numeric values of that numeric variable as observations of the new string variable. Now, how is this different from toString? Recall when we looked at toString, we said that it is meant to convert a numeric variable into a string variable. But what toString does is, right, the toString can work a numeric variable without value labels while dstring cannot, right? This is first point we're looking at. Because what toString is going to do is if you have a numeric variable without value labels, it's just going to convert its form from numeric to from string, right? The numbers will now be stored in the form of a string format, right, instead of a numeric format. But dstring does not work on numeric variable with value labels. Tostring can. Tostring can work on numeric variables with or without value labels, and it will just convert them into a form of string. When we're applying but decode, we know can work on numeric variable with value labels and so can toString. How will they both be different? For a numeric variable with value labels, toString will convert the actual values of the numeric variable into a string variable, ignoring the value labels. What toString does is it will take the actual numeric values of the numeric variable, convert them into string form, and it will just ignore the value labels. But not dstring, decode. But decode will return the value labels as string, ignoring the numeric values, right? Ignoring the numeric values, right? So this is how they're different. Ignoring the numeric values. Let's so look at an example and we'll apply both and this will make more sense. The syntax is similar to how you apply toString and dstring. So you write decode, you write the name of the numeric variable, which has with value labels who you want to decode, and then after the comma you'll write gen and you'll write the new string variable name, which will essentially, as observations, take the value labels assigned to this numeric variable, ignoring the numeric values. We cannot use a replace option with decode. We could use it with toString and dstring, but we can't use it with decode. Let's look at this auto data set example. Okay, so we have this variable foreign. Let's just browse the. Oh, sorry. Let's just browse this and let's see. We have this. Okay, so over here we can notice we have this numeric variable with value labels foreign, right? Where the value 0 has a label attached to domestic and the value 1 has the label attached foreign. We want to convert it into a string variable that stores the label of the numeric variable, means it stores in string form the value labels domestic and foreign, ignoring the numeric value 0 and 1. So we'll use decode for this. So we'll do decode foreign, the variable numeric variable value labels, whose value labels we want to store in the form of a string variable. Then after comma, we'll write generate and we'll write the new name of the variable which we want to store the string, which we want to store the value labels of this numeric variable in. Right. So what this is going to do is, now if I do this, notice this has created a new variable foreign underscore str, which is a string variable which has a color red, which stores the value labels of foreign as string, domestic and foreign, ignoring the numeric values, right? Like, so here you can notice now this is a string variable. This was a numeric variable with value label. The value coded was 0, domestic was just a value label. We have created a string variable that is storing the value labels in string form. If I had applied toString, we had done toString foreign, and then we have generated that. If I had applied toString to this numeric variable with value labels, you will notice that toString, like we talked about, what it will do is it will also create a string variable, but it will, like we mentioned over here, it will convert the actual values of the numeric variable 0 and 1 into a string variable, is ignoring the value labels, right? So if you have a numeric variable with value label, if you want to store its value labels in the form of a string variable, you will use decode. If you want to store the actual values of that numeric variable, ignoring the value labels in string form, you will use toString. But if you, like we said, like if you want to store the value labels in string form, ignoring the numeric values, you will use decode for that, right? So this is how decode and toString are different, right? So decode will only work on numeric variables with value labels and convert its value labels in a string form, ignoring the numeric values of that variable. ToString, what it will do is it can work on both numeric variable with and without value labels. If you're applying it to numeric variable with value labels, it will convert its values into string form, ignoring the value labels.